Coming up on the Northwestern News Report.
Students react to the results of the presidential election.
Northwestern changes degree requirements in the School of Communication.
And Chicago comes together to fly the W for the Cubs World Series victory.
All those stories and more.
Coming up on the Northwestern News Report. It's your news right now. Welcome to the Northwestern News Report. I'm Bria Kalpen.
And I'm Eric Miller. Donald Trump was elected the 45th President of the United States on Tuesday. Although Secretary Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, Trump won the Electoral College, flipping states like Ohio and Pennsylvania that had previously gone for President Obama. He earned 290 electoral votes to Clinton's 232. The presidency was finally called for Trump at about 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Wednesday. Officials said Clinton called the president-elect to concede the race. In his acceptance speech, Trump said, "Now is the time for America to bind the wounds of division, to get together. To all Republicans and Democrats and independents across the nation, I say it is time for us to come together as one united people." Trump will be the first president with no previous government or military experience. Down ballot, the Republicans also maintained their majority in Congress, holding 51 seats to the Democrats' 48 in the Senate and 239 seats to the Democrats' 192 in the House. Yesterday in a news conference, President Obama told the nation that he and his team would help Donald Trump and the Republicans with their transition to the White House.
One of the few bright spots for the Democratic Party Tuesday came from Illinois. Congresswoman Tammy Duckworth became Illinois' newest senator-elect, replacing Republican incumbent Mark Kirk. Duckworth ran on a platform of gun control reform, strong U.S. involvement overseas, and welcoming refugees from Syria and elsewhere in the world. Duckworth will join fellow Democratic Senator from Illinois, Dick Durbin, when she's sworn in January.
In other election news, Brad Schneider, a Democrat from Illinois' 10th District, was elected to the United States House of Representatives over Republican incumbent Bob Dole. Dole led Schneider for most of the night until Schneider pulled ahead and won with 52.5% of the vote to Dole's 47.5%. In his victory speech, Schneider said his win was a win for the Democratic Party.
And for all of the challenges we face, I have no doubt, and I never will doubt, that our best days as a country are still ahead of us. That's what brought us here today. That's what made us fight so hard, day in and day out, over the course of this campaign.
Trump began announcing members of his cabinet this week, including Republican National Committee Chairman Reince Priebus as Chief of Staff and Steve Bannon as Trump's Chief Strategist and Senior Counselor. Members of Congress from across the nation, including Congressman Schneider, condemned Trump for appointing Bannon, citing Bannon's ties to white nationalism and anti-Semitism. Schneider released a statement yesterday saying, quote, "I am disappointed and concerned about the selection as senior advisor to President-elect Trump of Steve Bannon, who as a leader of the alt-right has a history of promoting racism and anti-Semitism. Bannon's views have no place in our government, much less feet from the Oval Office. If Donald Trump is serious about his desire to unify our country, it begins with hiring a team that reflects American values and formally rejecting the acts of hate and bigotry being committed in his name." And another one for the Democrats, Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky of Illinois' 9th District was re-elected Tuesday over Republican Joan Lasonde.
Here on campus, students reacted strongly to Trump's victory. Many Northwestern students participated in the days of protest against President-elect Trump around the city to voice their opposition, while others have taken to writing notes affirming the value of immigrants and students of color on campus. Students also spray-painted messages on the rock covering over an American flag that had been there for College Republicans' Freedom Week. In one of the largest gatherings, students met on the Lakeville last Tuesday night to try and dance, cry, or hug their way to what some students called a better tomorrow. Hale McSherry, a Northwestern senior, helped lead one group during the gathering.
The people that were seeking to express themselves through like music and dancing and anger actually ended up moving up the Lakeville a little while, and then further down the Lakeville there were people that are just trying to gather together and share just emotional strength and like hugs and things like that. So there was a couple different options that people were using to express their feelings that night.
Northwestern reminds students in need of resources after the election to contact counseling and psychological services for help.
On this week's edition of Rock Talk, we asked people how they felt about Trump's win.
I just believe this entire world is going to go up in chaos. I just, like even now, you see them coming to the streets, like trying to rebel he was elected president. There's not really too much of anything anyone can do.
I don't think there's any silver lining to Trump being president. I think it's gonna the environment, like the Supreme Court, and yeah, it's gonna be rough for 4 years.
As people, as young people especially, we know that we actually have a voice in the community now, and that democracy is really important in the country.
If you have an idea for a future Rock Talk topic, tweet at us at @NNN_news.
Many NU students weren't the only ones in Illinois unhappy with the election. In a series of protests over the last week, thousands of Chicagoans took to the streets to show their opposition to President-elect Trump. The first demonstrations took place the day after the election, with thousands gathering outside Trump Tower in downtown Chicago. In the most recent march on Saturday, protesters started in Millennium Park before snaking through downtown, at times blocking both lanes of traffic on Michigan Avenue. Many chanted that they wanted to, quote, stop Trump, and they want to push back against racism in America. New York, Los Angeles, Portland, and other cities across the country have seen similar demonstrations numbering in the thousands since Tuesday's election.
Coming up, Northwestern celebrates Veterans Day with the annual NROTC ceremony. Plus,
I'm Michelle Beck, and after the break, I'll have your 5-day weather forecast.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Let's take a look at your next 5 days. Starting with tomorrow, we are expecting a lot of sunshine, something we all need in the middle of the week, plus temperatures in the 40s and 50s. This beautiful fall weather will remain with us on Thursday. It'll even warm up a bit with temperatures working its way into the 60s. Friday, temperatures will reach a high of 65 degrees and a low 41. There's a chance of stray showers throughout the day, but definitely some showers early in the night. On Saturday, unfortunately, those temperatures will drop. The high will be 44 and the low 32 degrees. So we recommend you bundle up. Finishing off the weekend, we'll continue to feel that chill in the breeze, and we'll also get to see some partly cloudy skies. I'm Michelle Beck, and this has been your 5-day weather forecast.
Northwestern's Naval Reserve Officers Training Corps, or NROTC, held its annual Veterans Day ceremony Friday. The event comes as the university works to increase both enrollment and commitment to veterans. NNN's Anika Haniger has more.
Early on Veterans Day, undergraduates in NU's ROTC unit performed a color guard and drill on the lawn east of University Library. During the annual ceremony, the students honored military heroes with speeches, music, and a wreath placed on Memorial Rock. David Filippini says because Northwestern ROTC was established in 1926 and is one of the oldest in the country, the day holds a deeper significance.
When this unit was first founded, they would have parades and marches down Sheridan with like 300 midshipmen, so it would take up the entire street.
Students not only honored the past, but celebrated the future. This year, Northwestern increased enrollment to 239 military veterans. Battalion Commander Michael Yee says the increase will positively impact the campus and the unit.
The camaraderie, there's really nothing else like it at Northwestern.
Lieutenant Kenny Brown says he's excited to see more ROT students go through the program.
When we first got them as freshmen, they've never put on a uniform before. They've never had to salute anybody. Now all of a sudden, 4 years later, you are giving them their commission and they're about to go lead sailors out in the fleet.
Northwestern also announced it is increasing funding for the Yellow Ribbon program, which significantly reduces tuition costs for veteran students. Senior Lauren Kearney says the support allows veterans greater access to academic opportunities.
I think it's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I know not all of us are going to make a career out of being in the military, so it's just one other path that's, become a little more accessible.
Anika Henniger, Northwestern News Report.
Assistant Vice President and Dean of Students Todd Adams says the university is taking inventory of current practices in the hopes of attracting more student veterans in the future.
In other campus news, the Midwest Asian American Students Union held its 2016 Leadership Summit at Norris University Center on Saturday. NNN's Matt Zidane was there and has more on how the election affected this year's attendees.
More than 200 students from universities across the Midwest gathered in McCormick Auditorium Saturday for the 2016 Midwest Asian American Students Union, or MASU, Leadership Summit. Fan Lee, the chair of the planning committee for this year's summit, says MASU is a regional student organization that unites and empowers Asian American students.
They're here to kind of learn about leadership, learn about activism and student organizing, and just, find a place to make friends, connect, network, and heal.
Healing, Lee says, is important, especially after the presidential election of Donald Trump, a candidate who used racist rhetoric throughout his campaign.
It's been a hard week for, I think, all people of color because of the results of the election, because we are actually fearful for our lives. We are fearful for our family, and this conference is, I guess, an opportune time to find healing. We are powerful and we're united and we're going to move forward from this and we're going to organize.
The day-long summit consisted of several speeches and breakout sessions. Keynote speaker and Northwestern alum Dr. Joseph Bokum Lee urged students to make time for activism.
If you have time for, the new Netflix hit that you binge watch or you binge, participate in, you have time for other things as well.
Central Michigan University sophomore and MASU Technical Networking Chair Tiffany Wen says she dreams of a time when Asian Americans are treated simply as Americans.
We're not the butt of the joke, we're no stereotypes, we're just Americans. Not even Asian Americans, we're just Americans.
Matt Dunn, Northwestern News Report.
MAASU will hold its spring conference in April at the University of Michigan.
A popular student dance show returned to campus this weekend for the 6th year. The annual dance show Refusion Shaka is a collaboration among Refresh Dance Crew, Fusion Dance Company, and Boom Shaka. Meant to unite Northwestern's dance community by combining each group's specialties, the show has expanded since the first show in 2010. While each group presents their own performances, the show also includes numbers featuring a combination of dancers from each of the groups. Many of the dancers the show presents them with the opportunity to perform with dancers from other groups.
Anyone from the 3 teams can do it, and so you get to meet people in the dance community in general, and just performing in front of people and being with the people that, doing something you love with people who love it, just unites you, and it's just, there's not another feeling like it.
Refusion Shaka took place in Kahn Auditorium this year for the first time, which can accommodate audiences of 1,000 or more.
Still ahead tonight, we'll update you on some changes to the School of Communication degree requirements.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all the go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
The School of Communication announced changes to degree requirements for undergraduate students this week, and NNN's Nikki Kaplan has more.
The School of Communication announced it has reduced the number of credits required for undergraduates from 45 to 42. The degree change was based on a comprehensive 2015 study by Northwestern's task force, including information on students' workloads, stress levels, and ability to adjust to the quarter system. School of Communication Administration said in an email statement there are 3 key benefits of this credit reduction. First, our students are increasingly interdisciplinary, so requiring certain courses or types of courses of them became unnecessary. Second, the SOC champions a very robust type of experiential learning wherein students are fusing in-class work with out-of-class productions, research, internships, and more. Third, and not to be overlooked, we want our students to be healthy, happy, and productive. Lily Labovitz, a sophomore majoring in radio, television, and film, says the credit reduction allows her to pursue extracurricular activities or internships, which she says are necessary for success after graduation.
A lot of our TPF majors spend a lot of weekends on set, a lot of their weeks preparing for that, and I think having less courses will allow for more time for us to get that hands-on experience that we need to do production in the real world.
The credit reduction also provides students more flexibility in how they structure their quarters. And Ashley Wood, Associated Student Government Vice President for Academics, says having fewer distribution requirements will allow students with compromised health a chance to rework their schedule.
Making that credit reduction to 42 credits enables you to have all the benefits of the quarter system while knowing, okay, I can definitely drop this class this quarter and prioritize this mental health issue.
Nikki Kaplan, Northwestern News Report.
Current students may opt in to the new course requirement system starting immediately.
In other curricular changes, 3 undergraduate schools at Northwestern will adopt a new advising system this winter quarter. The new system, AdviseStream, will be used in the School of Social Policy and Education, Beanan, and Medill starting January 2017. The software will allow students and advisors to communicate and make advising appointments more easily. AdviseStream will also provide students with information about research opportunities and part-time jobs. Roma Khanna, Director of Change Management, said the new system will be especially helpful for students with multiple majors. These students can use AdviseStream to book appointments with advisors from different schools. Weinberg and McCormick will not participate in the pilot winter because they use separate advising platforms.
Still ahead tonight, we'll take a look at the Cats' winning weekend in sports.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern, break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. At Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
And welcome back. We're joined now by Sports Night's Adam Bronstein. Adam, how'd the Cats do this weekend?
Well, Eric, we're at that great time of the year when both fall and winter sports teams in action, so Cats fans have a lot to keep up with these days. But on Saturday morning, all eyes were on Clayton Thorson and the football team in West Lafayette as they look to get back to 500 on the season. We'll pick it up in the first quarter. Cats already down 3, and David Blau gets past the defense and into the end zone to make it a 2-possession game. In the third quarter, Clayton Thorson finds Garrett Dickerson. He finds nothing but green grass in front of him. NU leads 28-10 after Dickerson's third TD of the season. But you can't forget that Thorson was recruited as a dual-threat quarterback, but Purdue makes just that mistake. Thorson fakes the handoff to Jackson, Purdue bites, and Thorson uses his wheels to cruise into the end zone and increase the NU lead back up to 18. And later, Justin Jackson says, "Let's not forget, I am the ball carrier," takes the handoff from Thorson, makes the defender look silly, and scores on the 9-yard touchdown. With his 128-yard game, Jackson reached 1,000-plus yards for the third straight season. With the win, the Cats clawed their way to within one victory at bowl eligibility. The team's first opportunity to accomplish this feat comes Saturday when they travel to Minnesota to take on the Golden Gophers. While the football team is fighting to be bowl eligible, the women's basketball season is just getting started. On Sunday afternoon, Nia Coffey, Ashley Deary, and crew welcomed everybody's favorite Oklahoma-based Summit League team, the Oral Roberts Golden Eagles, into Evanston. Let's take a look. Northwestern at home in this one, looking to start the season out 2-0. And with 2 straight wins, early on it's junior Lydia Rohde draining the long ball. She was 3 of 3 on the day from deep. Next up, it's Christine Inman using the pick to knock down the long jumper. But she's not done yet. Christine Inman knocking down the long 3 off the pass from Lauren Douglas. Nothing but net there. But NU also used their size advantage well. Oceana Hamilton outmuscles the defender and lays it in using the left hand. But Oral Roberts did not go away. The Golden Eagles were right there in the fourth. But remember Christine Inman, she didn't go away either. She wills the ball into the hoop and ekes out a hard-fought victory, 64-55. They sing the fight song and send the crowd home happy. On Wednesday evening, the Cats will have the opportunity to pick up their third win in 3 games when they welcome Missouri State into Evanston. With all that's going on in Northwestern athletics, it's easy to forget about non-revenue teams. But the women's soccer team has already had a very successful season. Coach Moynihan's squad won the Big Ten regular season title for the first time in school history in late October. But they haven't stopped there. On Saturday, the Cats took on Kent State in the NCAA tournament and look to keep the good times going. With 27.5 minutes left in the first, Marissa Vigiano finds Kayla Sharples with the corner kick, and Sharples heads it in for the goal. 1-0 Northwestern, and the team celebrates their early lead. Just a couple minutes later, Nandi Mehta says, "That was fun, let's do it again." She blasts the penalty kick past the keeper, 2-0 Cats. Later in the game, the sun has gone down, but the Cats keep it up. This time, Cassidy Gorman tips in the beautiful pass from Rachel Zampa for her 5th goal of the season, and Northwestern would go on to win by that same score. 3-0 Cats win. The Cats will take on Southern Illinois University Edwardsville Cougars on Friday, but don't let that long name fool you. These Cats can play. They beat 11th-ranked Notre Dame in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Well, thank you very much, Adam.
No problem.
Next, Chicago celebrated the Cubs' historic World Series win in style.
Why hang around waiting for opportunity to knock when instead you can track opportunity down and knock on its door? You might ask, what's the best way to identify where opportunity lives? Here's a hint. Its door is colored purple. Northwestern University. Opportunity awaits your knock.
At Northwestern, we're Wildcats in every way.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, spread for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
Why spend your entire life looking for some on-ramp to the road to opportunity when there's already a well-traveled path? So you may be wondering, what does that path look like? Is it paved with gold? Well, here's a hint. It's actually paved with purple. Northwestern University. Your road starts here.
Why hang around waiting for opportunity to knock when instead you can track opportunity down and knock on its door? You might ask, what's the best way to identify where opportunity lives? Here's a hint. Its door is colored purple. Northwestern University. Opportunity awaits your knock.
For the first time in 108 years, the Cubs have brought the World Series trophy home to Chicago. NNN's Meredith Sonnefeld was there for the team's victory parade.
2 weeks ago, Chicago Cubs fans said goodbye to someday at the parade celebrating the Cubs' first World Series win since 1908. After the Game 7 win over the Cleveland Indians in extra innings, Chicago gathered for the victory parade to fly the W. Fans were already arriving at 8 o'clock in the loop to claim their spot along the parade route. And the sea of Cubby blue had a river to match. Like Chicago's tradition of dyeing the river green for St. Patrick's Day, parts of the Chicago River were dyed blue to celebrate the historic win.
Well, I was just remarking that it's not really Cubby blue, but you know what? Who's going to complain today?
Chicagoan Stacy Setzman says the win still feels unreal.
I don't think it's really sinking in yet. Maybe at the rally today it will sink in.
But it wasn't only Chicagoans in the crowd. Fans like Vincent Jabczynski and his family traveled from Kentucky for the day's festivities. Jabczynski says he is going to remember this week for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I will. Tell my kids about it.
Beverly Victor, a lifelong Cubs fan from a Chicago suburb, said she followed the Cubs all season.
We started out at spring training this year, and then she has season tickets, so we went to all the games, and now we're here.
Victor says she thinks the celebration is good for the city.
It's getting your mind off of all the bad stuff that's going on and the election. This is great.
The parade started at 10 a.m. and included Clark the Cub, trolleys, and double-decker buses for the coaches and players.
The parade started at Wrigley Field this morning, moved south along Lakeshore Drive to here at Michigan Avenue, and will end in Grant Park for the World Series Champions Rally.
Once the lovable losers, but now the world champions.
Go Cubs!
Meredith Sonnefeld, Northwestern News Report.
That's all the time we have for tonight. I'm Bria Kalpen.
I'm Adam Bronstein for sports.
And I'm Eric Miller. Good night.